It's interesting, isn't it? What is assertiveness? I think one of the easiest ways to explain it is to contrast it with some of its opposites. So basically, if you think assertive is in the middle of a certain scale, of which aggressive is at one end and passive is at another end. And so if you get into a conflict, or if it comes time to ask for what you want, or if you're trying to get people to do something, you can be aggressive about it. You can shout, you can yell, you can criticize, blame, be sarcastic. You can do all those sorts of things. You can stop people saying what they want to say, which would be aggressive. Or you could be passive, perhaps not put forward what you want to say or what you want to ask for, or placate people if you have a difference of opinion and just agree even though you don't agree, or just say you'll do something to avoid conflict, or walk out and sulk. You could do those. Those would be passive. And there's also passive aggressive, which is where you react to somebody perhaps being aggressive to you by getting your own back in ways that you don't confront them, but you get your own back behind their back, so perhaps by talking about them to other people. So what we're talking about with assertive is not those things. So that's one way to think about it. If I was to contrast those things in, if you were in selling, you would, either force people to buy and use all sorts of manipulative tricks. That would be aggressive. Or passive would be, totally letting people make up their own mind. Whereas assertive would be to ask for the sale. Or if I was thinking about if you were at work and your boss asked you to do something, aggressive would be to say, no way am I doing that, I'm overloaded, it's unreasonable, all those sorts of things. And you criticize for even making a request. Or on the passive side, you say, yes, of course I'll do it, even if you're overloaded. You don't want to be difficult, you want to show that you can handle things, but actually you might have to work all sorts of overtime to fulfill that promise. Whereas being assertive might be, for instance, to say something like, well, I've got this task and this task and this task to do. If I add that, where do you think it will come in the priorities? Is there somebody who can take something off me so that I can get this new one done? You'd be looking for win-win options, for instance, or getting the manager to help you prioritize so that you could still get all your work done within the working day. Okay, so if you just think about, it's not passive, it's not aggressive, it's assertive. So what might be other signs that you're assertive? Well, whereas passive people maybe don't make much eye contact, they don't speak up, perhaps they speak rather quietly, and aggressive people speak loudly, perhaps they stand in your space, and maybe they point their finger at you when they're making a point. Assertive people move into a situation in a positive manner. So they stand upright, they smile, and they signal that they're open to your points of view and they're willing to listen. And they actively listen, so they'll nod their heads, they'll ask you questions, things like that when you're assertive. So think about whereas assertive body language is really powerful for developing rapport with people, but at the same time helping them to respect you and to see that you are, worthy, that you have self-esteem, that you think well of yourself. So another a sign that you're assertive is that you express your opinions honestly. You're willing to be open to other opinions, but you say what you think. And you do it in a way it's just, here it is, here's my opinion. You don't have to be forceful about it, or you don't have to be apologetic for it. Assertive people take initiative. So rather than following others or waiting for others to make the first move, you actually make them first move yourself. And some signs that, some really powerful times to take initiative is actually when other people are being aggressive or passive. You might take the initiative to find out what's going on. Tell me more. What's going on for you? In terms of assertiveness, one other area that really marks out somebody who's assertive, you can tell they're assertive rather than passive or aggressive, is when they receive criticism. Aggressive person might become very angry and blame and criticize you for giving that feedback, and a passive person might accept it or cry or sulk. An assertive person will be more curious about that feedback and say, well, what makes you think, what makes you have that opinion of me or what I did? And they want to find out more, and they'll try to sort out, is this feedback actually valid? Does it have some truth in it that you can act on? Or having heard a bit more about it, they might say, I can understand why you think like you do. These are some of my reasons for doing what I'm doing. I'm willing to respond in these areas. So, these are the things I've got to take on board. These are things that I think actually I'm doing okay. And so you have a balanced view of any negative feedback you get, and you encourage the person who's giving it to you to give you more balanced feedback in future by asking them, what do you think I did well as what do you think I could improve, or what would take what I've done to the next level. So there are various signs then of being assertive. It's to do with body language, upright, confident. It's putting yourself forward, taking initiative. It's about understanding people rather than getting defensive. Those are some of the things that show that you're an assertive person. So if you want to know more about how to become assertive, it's so valuable in terms of your personal relationships. They'll always go much better if you can be assertive rather than passive or aggressive. You'll get more career opportunities, and your business will fly and succeed better if you can be more assertive. Then I'd like to offer you a free discovery session. If you go to my website, buildingselfconfidence.co.uk, you can book a free confidential coaching discovery session where we'll talk about your levels of assertiveness, any barriers to being assertive, and how you can actually become more assertive to benefit your personal career and business life.